Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Cameras and Coffee, where we're going to ask the very important question today: do we need another 4x5 camera? And I'll save you the wait. The answer is no. Am I excited we have one? The answer is yes. But now, the intro. All right, so for today, I am enjoying from Pear Cupworks the Costa Rica natural processed. It tastes of chocolate, plum, and honeydew melon. Taste of coffee. It's good. Taste of coffee. Okay. So most of you who watch this channel are probably familiar with Ondu cameras. They launched 3 generations of pinhole cameras, made wood cameras really high quality. I backed their 2nd and 3rd generation campaigns. I believe I still have one of those cameras. At any rate, they had 3 successful campaigns. I backed 2. I believe both of the ones I backed, fulfillment ran way late, but they kept us informed, the backers, the entire time. It really was a case study in how to let backers know that there's been a delay. I think there's a bunch of camera Kickstarters that could learn some important lessons from Ondu. So Ondu released, I got a notification this morning, or late last night, one of the two, a 4x5 Kickstarter campaign called the Eikan. It's also, they have a 4x10 option, and I believe each of the 2 cameras comes in a standard length and also an extended length for telephoto or long lens use. Most long lenses for large format are technically long lenses and not telephotos, though there are in fact telephoto lenses for large format, the difference being where the node point of the lens is, which has effects on how front movements are used. Not germane to this video. Back on topic. Okay, so Ondu released a Kickstarter for these. The early bird, $700, I think it was. Standard, I think, was $780, and then it goes up from there. I want to say it was more for the 4x10s. Real quick question: am I backing it? No, but not because of anything with the campaign, because I just bought the Ghibellini ACN. If I had not just bought the Ghibellini ACN version 2 last month, I'd already be a backer on the Ondu. So just letting you know, the specs on them are in line across the board with what you'd expect from a high-end professional 4x5 camera. Also, the build quality on the ones that they have photographed looks absolutely amazing, and if the build quality from the 2 pinholes I got from them are any indication of what they're going to build these cameras to be like, you can have full faith that they're going to be amazing cameras, because the guys who made their pinholes, they take a great deal of pride in making a good product. I've really loved both the 6x6 and the 4x5 Ondu pinhole cameras that I've had in the past. So I do actually I am still really tempted to back this because the cameras look beautiful. They do take standard Linhof boards, so if you have an Intrepid 4x5, your lenses should be interchangeable with the Ondu 4x5, which is really nice and a very good cost and time savings for anybody who has the Intrepid and is looking to upgrade to something that appears to have a slightly more robust and refined build. And realistically, what the Ondu is doing in terms of build quality looks very close to on par with things like the mid-tier Ghibellini, the TCN, I think that's called. And it's also definitely looking like, from the photos, it's a step up from the Intrepid. And there's also the folding method in the Ondus that is much more like what's in the Ghibellini, which I have a very strong preference for, versus the Intrepid, which uses you unscrew it, you lift up the whole front standard, you collapse it, and then fold the thing down. I find that a little bit fiddly. So I think that looking at the Ondu's Kickstarter campaign, what they have is a really nice looking product. I'm really trying to talk myself out of buying it. Anyway, do we need another 4x5 camera? No, we definitely don't. But I am glad to see that Ondu has chosen to release one because it looks really nice. And this goes to a larger problem with film photography, which is that it's relatively easy to make a 4x5 camera. There is one really critical measurement: the distance from the in the film holder, in the film back rather, the part of the camera that holds the film holder. The ground glass must be on plane with where the film is. And now there are standards and specs from ANSI. I actually have a copy of it in the other room that gives the exact measurement, the J distance, I believe it's called, from where the film back, where that Graflock back rests, and where that ground glass plane is. I think it's 5 millimeters or something like that. I have not read the specs in 3 years, so don't quote me on that. You can get the specs, or I want to say like $15-20. You can order it from ANSI. It's a 4-page, 8-page document, something like that. So that is the critical dimension, because if that ground glass is not on plane for the film, then if it's too far forward, everything that you focus is going to be, whatever's on focus in your ground glass, your image is going to be focused behind that. If you're at infinity, you're not going to be focused. If your ground glass is too far back, and I mean like a 0.5 millimeter either way, by the way, this is a very, very tight tolerance. If your ground glass is too far back, then everything that you focus on the ground glass, what's actually going to be in focus is in front of that. So that's a very critical dimension. It's the hardest dimension to make. Once you get that dialed in, then the rest of the camera can be built around that without too much difficulty. The thickness of the standards, the lengths of the bellows, the amount of the tilts and shifts and swings, those can all be built to the specific camera however the maker would like, once they have that ground glass placed correctly with the film back. So so the point of that is, compared to other types of cameras, 35 millimeter medium format, even 110 cameras, making a large format camera of any size, any sheet film size, is not as huge a technical challenge, not anywhere close, as making anything else. So, as I think I've said a few times in this series, when it comes to film's very, very long-term future, if things continue the way they are with no 35 millimeter cameras, no medium format cameras being made, the ones that we have getting consistently older, I mean high-end, really nice ones, not the point and shoot, like the all plastic point and shoots, but the high-end, nice, good cameras being made. As the ones that we have age out, more of them break, more of them become parts and repair cameras, those film formats will in the longer term be at greater risk than sheet film, because large format cameras are easier to make. But then there's a problem with large format. We've got a number of different large format makers: Ghibellini, Canham, Intrepid, now Ondu, Alvandi. Those come to mind. And then you can buy any of a number of them: Zone 6, Nagaoka, Osaka, Deerdorf, any of these on the used market. Wista's another real popular one. And the old sheet film cameras last a long time. The new ones will last a very long time as well. So we've got new sheet film cameras being made, and old ones that we can still get relatively affordably that work. No one's making lenses. The point of this video is that this Ondu camera looks beautiful, the specs are awesome. Ondu has a good track record of fulfilling their campaigns and keeping their backers informed of the progress throughout the delivery. So if you have any interest in looking at 4x5 cameras, I would say check out the Ondu guys and see what they've made, because what they have made looks highly usable and incredibly, incredibly attractive. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you in the next Cameras and Coffee.